This is episode 17. I'm your host, Mike, of the Taproom Podcast. I am actually recording this on the balcony of San Diego Hotel today. Came down to SD for a night. Gotta hit all the good spots. About to go have some food over at Old Town Mexican Cafe. But we're going to start off this episode like we always do. Crack a brewski, give it a reviewski. This beer, though, is one I'm going to be drinking. It's called it's a Vin Scully West Coast Double IPA. Not a Dodger fan, but still got to do it anyway. Each week, this one says Think Blue, says LA. Good is not good, which is when better is expected. There you go. It's coming in at 8%, so double West Coast IPA. Can't go wrong with that. King's Brewing. I know, this is going to be the King's Brewing episode. I recorded with Jeremiah Cooper, the owner, founder, and head brewer of King's Brewing. It was a really fun episode. Super fun. Him and I got to hang out, have a good time. There is definitely music in the background because I was recording it, while people were there, so you might hear a little chit-chat. You're definitely going to hear music. I tried to cut out some of it as much as I could when it comes to the background noise. I'm probably going to hear a plane flying overhead right now. But, did my best. Hope you guys enjoy that, but let's jump into this brewski here. Let's crack one open, eh? All right. Good spike on the recording. Let's jump on in. There we go. Ooh. Not a Dodger fan, obviously, like I said. This was pretty solid, though. It's actually really good for being a double West Coast. Not overly hoppy, not overly bitter, anything like that. Honestly, West Coasters are really, really coming around more on West Coast. I used to really love hazies and stuff like that. Obviously, I love my lagers and pilsners, but West Coast are really coming up for me right now. It's coming in at 8%. I'm gonna give this a solid 9. This is really, really good. Actually stole this one from Vero, but it's really, really good. So if you find this one in a liquor store or over at a brewery, definitely pick one up and you'll be good to go. All right, so let's jump into the headlines now. Some kind of really big news this week. One thing I want to talk about is DeGrom getting injured. That really sucks. I feel so bad for Jacob DeGrom. I know he was a Met for years, and he was the one Met I actually really liked. And to see him get hurt again and having to have Tommy John again after signing with the Rangers this past offseason, you just got to feel for the guy. You got to hope that he can come back and be what he was, because he's just, he's easily one of the best pitchers I've ever seen pitch in the last 15 years. He's just solid through and through, but he's always had injury problems. So let's just, hope that he's going to be okay. All right, well, let's jump into the next one. I couldn't believe Messi's coming to the MLS, which is crazy. I think they said the average ticket prices for was it the Milan or whatever it is, Miami's team in the MLS, they were going for $22 before Messi signed, and now they're going for $220 or $300 or something like that, some crazy number. That's just nuts to me. But I would have thought Messi coming there, but they do say a lot of older players. I'm not saying Messi's an older player, and he is getting up there, but he's still obviously phenomenal at what he does. But they're, a lot of times you see guys like that come over to the MLS towards the end of their career. So, but good for Messi. It was just kind of a shocker, but yeah, good for him. Another shocker too in the news was freaking PGA and Live and what's the other one merging together. That's crazy. And after all the shit talking that what's his name did, Rory McIlroy, now it's just all kind of, and then them finding out Tiger was just I didn't know this was going to happen. So it's all pretty nuts. I was kind of shocked how it all went down. But, good for them. I guess if you're into that sort of thing, I honestly don't watch a ton of golf. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend like some people do, this and this and that, looking stuff up. No, I watch golf for the Masters, for the PGA Championship, and that's pretty much it. Like I'll watch, or the Players Championships, always fun to watch. But I mean, those are kind of like the only tournaments I really, really care for. I would love to go to a tournament. If anybody has any suggestions of, if you're a golf fan or golf aficionado and you have any suggestions of any tournament that would be cool to go to. I know the Waste Management Open is really cool. My cousin Jamin, who was on the episode of the intro last week, always goes to that one in Arizona. So I'm definitely going to have to check that out. All right. So I got another brewski here. It is the Pilsner from King's Brewing, the Lager House. And there goes a seagull. There you go. Sometimes when you're recording live on the thing. Let's crack her open, eh? Oh, yeah. This is the Lager House. I believe it's 4.5%. This is solid. Let's go in. I had this one on the show, but didn't get to rate it. It was really good, though. And, like I said, I've been on a lager kick lately, and it's delicious. So let's go. Oh, yeah. That one is light, crisp, clean, refreshing. And that's the one thing about Kings, though. Like, I know a lot of times, at least when I talk to people about Kings, a lot of people think of, like, thinking of sours and stuff like that. But Jeremiah's killing it over there, man. Like, a lot of their stuff is just, like, everything I had there and everything that they sent me home with was just phenomenal. Like, I think, was it the weekend after I recorded with them, I had one of their orange slice, like, sours. And it wasn't even really like a sour. It was more like a soda. It was like a hard soda. And it was fucking delicious. So, I mean, everything I've had there has been really good. Their sours, I'm kind of veering away from some sours. But I do like a good sour every once in a while, especially when it's done right. Like later on today, I'm going to be going over to Lost Winds in San Clemente. One of my favorite breweries around right now. And I'm actually going to be working with them hopefully in the next couple of months. And getting an episode together, me and Mitch and their owner. Mitch is their head brewer. Definitely check them out if you guys get a chance. They're in the San Clemente area. There's obviously a few really good, a ton of good breweries down there. Just to name a few, but you can go to Artifacts. You can go to, Lost Winds. You can go to Pizza Port. I love their pizza. I like their beer too, but their pizza is just phenomenal. So you could definitely, check that place out. And they just have really good stuff. But yeah, this beer I'm gonna give this one a Big Fat 10. I really like this one. I didn't even know they really had pilsners and stuff like that when I first went and met Jeremiah, but he was obviously a really, really nice guy, and he super like inviting and and courteous, and gave me some 4-packs to review later on, and everything I had was really good. So I mean, shout out to Jeremiah, shout out to his wife, and shout out to his brother. Like they are the founders of King's Brewing, and they're kind of the epitome of what you could be doing something with your life and hating what you do, and then but sometimes you just take that risk. Sometimes that risk pays off. So always just kind of think about that. All right. I did want to talk about the NHL. Just a quick update. That one is now 3-1. I kind of thought maybe the Panthers had some life, but it doesn't seem that way now. They're in some big trouble there. They're down 3-1 to the Golden Knights. And in the NBA too. Miami showed some life or showed some fight when we were out in Arizona last week, but that's not looking good. And I think the Nuggets finish that off today and go up 4-1 and win the series. So we'll see. I just don't think Miami has enough in the tank. I mean, they're an 8 seed for a reason. I mean, they were good, had a decent regular season, but it's tough when you're going up against, the top team in the West, and I feel like the West has been better for quite some time now. But I mean, what do? Joker's just playing just balls to the wall. I did want, before I do finish up the intro and get into the actual episode part, I did want you guys to know that some of the stuff I have coming up. So next week's episode is going to be the Oso Brewing episode. That one, so I had to do some work on that audio because it was so loud in there. But I'm doing my best to get that out. Also, the week after, I'm going to be recording at Helia in Carlsbad, actually Vista, California, which is pretty much Carlsbad. So have that going on, have some other stuff. I'm going to have OG Chew Your Beer coming on the show. I'm going to have actually Grant McCauley, who's a beat writer for the Atlanta Braves, His episode will be out we'll actually be recording the week before the All-Star game, and it'll be out, I believe, on the 8th. So we got some stuff going on there. I did ask you guys about, some of your favorite breweries outside of the States. And we had, one of them was OG Cheer Beer, said Odell Brewery. And then Buddy Jared said Anagram Brewing and Institution Brewing Company. Also had a couple polls on the Instagram for you. It was what do you prefer, West Coast or hazy? And West Coast, pulled it out. And like I said, I've been kind of on a West Coast kick, and they won 57% of the vote over hazy IPA with 43%. And then on this one, I thought was kind of funny, like which is the best movie about beer. I had Strange Brew, Beer Fest, and Drinking Buddies. Beer Fest took the cake with 65% of the vote. Drinking Buddies, surprisingly, the 22%. Love Drinking Buddies, love Beer Fest. And then Strange Brew, I figured I'd throw it out there with Rick Moranis. Only 12% of the vote, though. Just want to keep doing this with you guys and kind of having, little things like that for you guys to interact with on Instagram. But don't forget to follow us on Instagram at the Taproom Podcast on Instagram. And then I believe, I made a TikTok. I don't know if I'm actually going to use it or not. I've posted a few things. Also, you could do, I don't even know what that was. Didn't even get a notification, so not sure what that was. And then also there's Twitter. It's at the Taproom Pod, I believe. But I try to tweet stuff on there sometimes, but I'll tell you right now, it's at the Taproom Pod. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the interview with Jeremiah. Don't forget to stay tuned after for the reading from the Bro Code. All right, guys, we are back in the tap room. I am your host, Mike. And I have a very special guest today. His name is Jeremiah Cooper. He's the owner, founder of King's Brewing out here in Rancho Cucamonga. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing great, and I really appreciate you being on the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm really fascinated by your brewery because of all the beers that I've had on the show, well, at least way back when it was Taps and Tailgates. I'd love to be able to hear, and I'm sure the listeners would love to hear, your story and how you got started.
Yeah, it was actually a gift that I received, Mr. Beer Kit.
Okay.
Yeah, from Bed Bath & Beyond.
Oh, nice.
Yep, I want to say my wife got it for me as a gift for, I can't even remember what now. It could have been Christmas or my birthday or something. And I ended up making it and using it, making the beer. It was a Hefeweizen.
Okay.
Went through the whole process. They give you the little sugar and everything.
Yeah.
Bottled it. When it was all done, tried it and gave it to friends and stuff. And God, I thought it was the best thing on earth.
That's awesome.
I don't know how good it really was, but I thought it was amazing.
Yeah. And that's good though. Because if it's good to you, if it's good to you, and if other people try it and they think it's good, because most of the time when you I remember my cousin once had that Mr. Beer Kit.
Yeah.
And he did, I want to say maybe it was a half for some kind of wheat, style beer. And it was just not good. But they always say it's the first pancakes to throw away kind of thing.
I would say the first, 10, 15 batches, 20, every so many, I threw one away.
Oh, okay.
I remember at the beginning doing some crazy stuff. And not even really following the rules, just kind of just doing what I wanted.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, the beer's not going to turn out right unless you follow the rules.
Yeah.
So then eventually, but at first it was just it was totally for fun.
Yeah.
And never knew it was going to be a business. I'd been in my job 15 years.
Okay.
Wasn't planning on going anywhere.
Yeah.
And it was just something I did for fun.
That's awesome. What were you doing before, prior to
I had been in LTL for, I did it almost, I think total about 17 years or something like that.
Oh, wow.
I started when I was 18 or 19 years old when I was going to school. I started working at a Viking Freight was the name of the company then.
Okay.
Which ended up becoming FedEx Freight.
Oh, wow.
And I just started as a regular dock worker there, pushing a pallet jack part-time. Then a couple of years I became a supervisor, and then I went through some other steps. I was a hostler, drove the yard dog, did different steps, a lead, I used to train new hires.
Okay.
It's called a mentor. Different things like that, and then eventually got into management. Did that for about 17 years and ended up leaving as operation manager.
Oh, wow. Dang. I mean, that was a long time. I mean, for being with one company, sometimes.
I was with a couple of them. The first
Yeah.
one I was with 10. The second one I was with about 6 or 7.
Okay. Yeah, still, I mean, that's, loyalty, to a company like that. And you can kind of, like, when you've been in a business or either in a business or with a company for that long a time, sometimes you can be just kind of get set in your ways and be like, you know what, I don't want to change anything. But for you to make that transition and decide, hey, this is what I really want to do.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of times it takes being forced into it.
Yeah.
And not getting into the separation of the company, but I mean, I ended up parting ways with them, and I was thinking, what am I going to do next?
Yeah.
And I really didn't want to do the same thing anymore. I was kind of tired of it. I had thought of a few different brands to start.
Yeah.
I had thought about doing a clothing brand. I even thought of a name. It was at that time, and a whole bunch of different. But eventually, I was visiting a lot of breweries.
Yeah.
A lot of local ones, and then I started finding out about trading beer.
Yeah.
And I started trading beer for Trillium Treehouse. At that time, Trillium came in green bottles.
Yeah.
They weren't even in cans at that time.
Wow.
They were green bottles. I still remember one of the streets I received in bottles, several of them, and I was like, and I was trading them for Pliny's at that. This is 8, 9 years, 10 years ago. Trading them for straight up Pliny's for everything I need. Treehouse would trade for Pliny. And we would trade, and at some point I was like, I just want to make this beer.
Yeah.
So I was visiting breweries, and nobody was really making those beers. Nobody at all was making those beers around here.
Yeah.
So we started doing it home brewing, and I started thinking, well, how much does it cost to open a brewery?
Yeah.
And got a little hair, and then that's what happened.
There you go. That's really cool, man. I mean, especially you kind of went full circle, where you were making your own beer at that point, home brewing, and then eventually, trading for beers, because trading got really big. I felt like after for a while, but you also mentioned Pliny. Oh, Pliny. Are you an elder or younger?
Younger.
Yeah. I like both. I've never had it on tap. I've only ever had it out of the bottle.
Yeah.
But they're both they're both good. But
they're world class beers.
Oh yeah,
world class beers from a great brewer.
Yeah, that's really cool though. And I do want to mention what beer are we having today? It's a Pilsner or lager.
Yeah, that's our slow pour Pilsner.
Oh, so good. And what's the ABV on this one?
5%.
Okay, yeah, easy drinker. It's crushable for everybody listening. It's crystal clear, goes down easy. Go to the golf course, you might have 10, 12 of these.
Oh yeah,
for
sure.
Time.
Yeah, that was pretty much the beginning that led up to wanting to open a brewery.
And when you got to that point when you decided to open it, what was maybe for someone that's maybe listening to the show and they're wanting to kind of do that, what gave you that to finally be able to do it, or was it because finances are obviously a big part of it.
I found out that it didn't cost as much as I thought. A lot of breweries saying they spend $400,000 or $500,000, $1 million to start, and I was thinking, well, I don't have that money. I'm not going to get that kind of money. I'm not going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But I seen a lot of breweries locally that started with plastic fermenters with no stainless steel.
Okay.
And those things you can make for $900, $1,000.
Yeah.
And put stainless onto the plastic tanks and stuff. They're only 3.5 barrel tanks.
Yeah.
So you're only, pulling probably 6 kegs after dumps and stuff.
Yeah.
But, we were turning 10. We had 10 of those in a room.
Yeah.
And we would turn them every 14 days.
Wow.
So, we were able out of those, little tanks to produce a lot of beer. If we wanted to, we could turn 60 barrels a month in those little things.
Wow.
But of course, we couldn't do lagers or anything like that.
Yeah.
We had an air conditioned room, plastic tanks. Pretty much used Safale 5 on everything, and it was a temp controlled room, and that's how we started. And bought one tank, then bought a second tank, and before you know, we had 2 brew houses, 2 canning lines, 2 locations we brew at, lots of tanks. We have 17 tanks total.
Yeah.
And we ended up gifting the plastic tanks to a newer brewery that was going to open.
That's really cool because, I mean, it's just, you're supporting somebody else's dream, to do something like that. And for you guys to, and was it you and your brother?
Yeah, it's my brother and I. And we actually bought those 6 of those plastic tanks.
Yeah.
Used already from Claremont Craft Ales.
Wow.
And they had already used them for years, so they went through them for years, through us for years, then to another brewery. I don't even know if those tanks can last that long, those plastic tanks.
Yeah.
Maybe still have, I don't know, but a lot of people have used them.
That's really awesome, though, man. I mean, like I said, congratulations on that. Like, because like I said before, like not everybody, after being in an industry or being with a company for that long would be willing to change their entire life, to do something, to commit to something that they really love. They may keep doing it on the side, stuff like that, but to fully commit yourself to do something like that, it's really cool.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. Some of the cans I was trading for back then at that time, like other half.
Yeah.
And to me, some of these breweries that I was trading for then and still are some of the best breweries out there. And, now a lot of these people are all my friends.
Yeah.
And I hang out with all of them now.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy, to have all of these people you meet in the brewing industry in all these different states, in all these different countries.
Yeah.
That you see more frequently than you see your own family.
For sure.
Because, some of these guys I'll see 4 or 5 times, 6 times this year at different events in different states.
Yeah.
I might see you, in Miami, and then I might see you in Philadelphia, and then I might see you in Atlanta. And it's all the same group of people. So that we become really tight,
That's
and
cool,
it becomes like family. And I really think that's the greatest takeaway from being in the brewing industry is to be able to get this extended family that
for sure.
It's really cool.
Yeah, and that's what, we were talking before we started recording about how the craft beer industry, it is like a family, and everybody's so welcoming. A lot of times when I reach out to people, they usually respond and like you did. I send you a message like, hey, he may respond, he may not, but you're like, sure, why not? Let's do it. And we got it all planned out, and I'm here today with you. And to me, that's being able to hear that story, and how you gifted something to another brewery that, because, you have all your tanks now, you have everything. And we're actually in one of in the tank room right now. And it's that's to me, I'm not trying to be a sappy or anything like that, but it's honestly, it's heartwarming because, you helped out another person that really that's willing to put, risk and try to be able to do what you did. So
yeah, and he's doing really well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he has a brewery called Little Cottage.
Okay, where are they at?
Oh, I always get this wrong. I want to say Atlanta somewhere, but I could be wrong.
In Atlanta?
Let me look it up so I can tell you that.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah, no worries.
I might not be right, but I might be.
Yeah, it's all right. And just a little segue. So if you can hear the music in the background, it's just, that's what happens when you're hanging out in the tap room. And you get a little ambiance.
Georgia,
okay. Nice. Where in Georgia? Is it in Atlanta?
No, it's Avondale. It's with an A.
Okay.
Avondale. That's right, because the Avondale Estates.
Nice.
So, yeah, he opened his brewery, started off, kind of small as well, like we did. He's doing a great job, killing it. He makes some amazing stouts.
Yeah, nice. That's really cool. I love, are you a stout guy?
No, me personally, I like a lot more beer. I just like something light, crisp.
Oh, yeah.
Or I'm going to probably drink a West Coast.
Yeah. Gotta love a good West Coast. I feel like them, West Coast too, they're really West Coast has never not been popular. But I feel like hazies, we were talking earlier, how hazies were just shot through the roof.
I like a 5% oatmeal stout or something.
Oh, yeah.
Just a regular stout.
Oh, yeah. Same. I still like Guinness, too.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I like any beer that tastes like beer.
Yeah.
I like a red,
Yeah.
As long as it tastes like beer, I'm good with it.
Oh, for sure. People don't, I'm sure people, laugh at me in the comments or whatever about it later. But when I talk to people about stouts, like I love like Murphy's. I prefer Murphy's to Guinness.
Yeah.
Like I love Guinness. Don't get me wrong, but I mean it's like Murphy's would be like my stout of choice.
It's been years since I drank either one of those.
Yeah, but I mean like but if you can make a good stout or a good like porter, that but there's times don't get me wrong, I love them. Like I'll drink them, but like the 10-12% porters, I'm just
we
like,
have like
woo.
I think our porter right now is like 5.5 or 6 or something.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to try that one after for sure. But yeah, man, this is this has been a blast so far. I really appreciate it. It's a beautiful day out here in
Very
Rancho.
nice day.
We got the mountains in the background.
Yeah, those are pretty sweet too.
Yeah, we got the music playing. We get to just sit here, have a friggin' kick-ass conversation. I did want to ask you about the name because it being Kings, like you and I talked about it a little earlier, but think the listeners would love to hear it because I always love to ask people about like where the name came from. But Kings obviously is such a a big or I guess more like a common kind of name of something you would hear.
Absolutely.
And for it to be copyrighted, that's really cool. But I'd love if you could tell that story and then tell about like how you're also not trying to do anything like that.
People are probably going to think this is crazy because they kind of don't go together. There's there's like 3 meanings that brought it all about, and it has to do with my life growing up. And it was my life. It was who I was. Even though I grew up and I changed and I grew out of things.
Yeah.
I like to remember where I came from.
Of course.
As a child, I did graffiti. And if you're familiar with graffiti, Kings was a big part of. Kings is a part of everyone doing graffiti.
For sure. Yeah.
So that's where one of the meanings came from. My childhood growing up and doing graffiti.
Yeah.
If you look in the brewery, we have graffiti inside of the brewery a couple of places.
Yeah.
It says King's Brewing Company in one spot. Another place it says King's.
Oh yeah.
Another spot it says Juice Bomb.
Yeah. Even the other little logo you guys have, the one with like the crown on it. I love the way that looks. Like especially like on some of like the Dodger cans and stuff like that. Like you can see that little. Well, I think it was on the back of your phone too, right?
Yeah, like little crown hat.
Yeah, I love that one. But it almost reminded me of like almost like spray paint kind of dripping down a little bit. Super cool.
So that's the first one of the meanings. And prior to opening a brewery and home brewing and all that, I used to teach Bible study.
Okay.
I taught Bible study. I went to a church called Calvary Chapel, and I taught a Bible study.
Okay.
And I was part of the ministry there, and I oversaw some of the schooling that was done there with a couple of teachers on one of the.
Yeah.
I can't think of what it's called now, but
yeah.
So I did that, and that's where Kings comes from, King of Kings.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
For sure.
So that's the second meaning, and the third one that's incorporated is like royalty, kings and queens.
Yeah.
So the mixture of the 3 of them is how Kings came about.
Yeah.
And not many people know it, but in our logo, really small on the dot, it says Inri, which means King of Jews.
Okay.
And it's actually, if you look on a large blow up of our logo, or you take it and you blow it up, it's in there on the dot.
Oh, okay. I didn't notice that.
So that's where it came from. It has to do with my history.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean a little insight for the listeners there too. Now you can look for it.
Yeah, I don't think really people know that.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you talking about that because, I don't talk about like religion or anything like that on the show, like politics.
Yeah, I don't even believe in religion, so you don't gotta worry about that.
Oh no, you're fine. but even for me, like I have like faith, but it's like
me too, exactly.
Yeah, I have John 14:6 on my chest. Tatted on my chest.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not into religion and all that type of stuff. That's a whole different.
They always say when you're drinking, don't talk about politics or religion.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But no,
I don't know much about either one of them.
How awesome is that though? Like like with the logo and with just the name in general, like it having the 3 different meanings behind it, because the average beer drinker may not be able to see that. But then if they listen to this and they hear your story, like to me that's that's really cool because it's just that little nugget. It's that little thing that you might not have known. Like you may have been coming here for years, but maybe you didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not really something that people will
really
ever find out.
Yeah.
It's I mean, because you got to ask that question.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, you know, and there's people coming in on a daily basis starting asking the question.
Yeah.
Questions.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where it came from.
That's really cool, man. And that's why, you know, if we can get like a little nugget like that, just, I mean, that's, we could end the show now and be like, I'm happy. because it was just a little something like that you might not know about everything too. Like just because when it comes to, you know, the breweries and stuff like that, like, and I've never really homebrewed or anything like that. I want to get into it. Me and my brother have talked about it. And like, I would, you know, never own a brewery or anything like that. Maybe one day, or maybe we'll get like the Tap Room podcast on a, or be a collab with a beer or something like that would be amazing. But just if you can hear, because it's not just, you know, like you said, it's not just one person. It's you, it's your brother, it's everybody that works here. Everybody has to, you know, to do their job and be, you know, and you guys, it kind of seems like you guys are a family. Obviously, I know it's you and your brother doing everything too. Like
My wife's in the tap room right now.
That's awesome. And you know, and how cool is that? And then like how, you know, how supportive, you know, she is working the tap room with you and stuff like that. One thing I love about that me and my girlfriend do is like we plan trips around breweries. And to me, it's like if you can have that kind of that connection,
yeah.
You know, because it's not just because a lot of times, you know, you're in a relationship and you're like, oh, I want to go to the brewery. Like, yeah, I don't want to go there. Yeah. But if you can have that kind of connection,
I know that.
Yeah,
that was my wife before we opened the brewery. I was always at breweries.
Yeah,
I'd go with my brother or friends or by myself. But now it's not like that no more. Everywhere we go is about beer now.
Yeah,
we fly everywhere for beer.
That's awesome.
I mean, I was just saying, it's been like 5 years, 6 years, 5 years since we had a vacation.
Yeah.
And my kids were like, well, you fly all over all the time. And it's like, that's not vacation.
Yeah.
You're working and you're thinking about work. Like vacation's unplugging for a week and going to Hawaii or something.
Yeah.
Not 3 days, flying there in 1 day, staying a day, flying back. You know, that's not vacation.
Yeah.
That's traveling.
For sure. I mean, and that's like, you know, like I said, just the support, like, you know, like I said, it being like a family here is, I love that. I mean, I love that aspect of it because if you can, I guess you could say, if you could brew together, you'll stay together. We'll say that.
Corny now, huh?
Oh yeah. Gotta throw a little cheese in there, you know. I do want to ask you because obviously I love all the different types of artwork you guys have on the cans. Like even like my girlfriend being a Dodger fan, she has like the Vin Scully can. Like who does your can artwork and stuff?
I have two different people that do my the work, but I don't really know as far as the ideas.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm out of them.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't have any more.
Yeah.
I mean, we've probably canned 350 different beers.
Yeah.
I mean, names are starting to get hard.
Oh, for sure.
You know, like we're about to do a collab with Bottle Logic and a bunch of different breweries. We're
love
talking,
that.
and I was like, so you guys got a name for it?
Yeah.
It's like I just don't. I'm out of names. Like A, B, C.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because at that point, Bottle Logic too. Like Bottle Logic is just like,
oh, they're badass.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Like they're usually what I'll do for them. Like I've never done anything with them one day.
Yeah.
But every year.
Just ask them. They're good folks.
Oh, you know, I want to for sure. Like them are like monkish or like, you know.
All you gotta do is ask. People say yeah all the time.
Oh, for sure.
Just ask.
Yeah, just like you did. Like I mean, like being able to do that. But I always like to do like because they always make great stouts. So I'll do like stouts giving.
Yeah.
And so every like Thanksgiving I'll buy like 4 or 5 different stouts, and instead of like it being like a like interviewing someone, I'll just drink all the beers and get sloshed and talk for an hour.
Yeah, those guys make amazing stouts.
Yeah.
Amazing stouts.
No, but man, I love this place, and it just like I keep looking outside. Sorry for the listeners, I keep looking outside. You guys can't see this, but it's just like we're sitting in the room with all the tanks, and I look outside. It's a sunny day in Southern California, so I'm sorry if you're on the East Coast and it's not looking too good. But you got the mountains in the background. You got a blue sky.
Best day we had in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, our anniversary
so
too. We had our anniversary 2 weekends ago.
Yeah.
We closed the whole parking lot down right here. We have about 5 food vendors, and band and DJ and stuff, and we have a good time. And I walk around all day like pouring. I'll pour 3 liters, and I'll bring out the Paron, and
Awesome.
we have a good time. And I lost my train of thought. Why was I saying that?
We were talking about it being a nice
Oh yeah,
day.
yeah, that's right. And it rained so many days before our anniversary, and it was just horrible. And then our anniversary was like 83 or something.
Perfect.
It was like, perfect. It was so nice.
And when was your anniversary?
2 weekends ago.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, because I think I mentioned that day, and you were like, "Oh, that's our anniversary." So
It was a lot of fun.
I bet it was crazy.
We closed this off in here and put a bunch of tables and stuff and chairs. And this is for like family and industry. Comes in here, and then we take everything out of the brewery and we take it outside. So there's no seating inside at all.
Okay.
And everything's in the parking lot. We put up more shade out there and stuff.
Yeah.
We have our own tables and chairs in our storage building over there. We bring out a pallet of tables, a pallet of chairs.
Nice.
Plus everything there, and it's all full. It's really nice. It's a good time. But we shorten the day a little bit. We do it like a shorter day, like from 2 to 10 or something.
Yeah.
But because it's a lot of setup and tear down.
For sure. And because you guys opened in 2015?
16.
2016? Okay. And we don't have to get too far into this. I did want to ask, like, because I know COVID that killed everything. But I mean, like, what was it like? Was it tough? Now, I mean, obviously, it had to have been tough, like navigating through that.
No, for us, we saw major growth through COVID,
awesome.
Which a lot of friends of ours did as well.
Okay.
If you were a pretty well-known brewery, a lot of people didn't have nothing to do, and they were getting a lot of free money.
Yeah.
And nobody was going to work. A lot of people were at home, so people wanted something to do. So we would have 400 people in line on Saturday because we were to go only.
Yeah.
We'd sell through 4 pallets of beer, 6 pallets of beer on a Saturday.
That's freaking awesome, man.
And we did that for over a year straight.
Yeah.
I think once things started opening back up, it changed a lot.
Yeah.
It changed quite a bit how things were. You had a lot of places to go again. It's been different since then. I mean, we're doing fine.
Yeah.
But business has definitely been slower than it was prior to.
Yeah. That's good. I mean, at least that's good though. At least that they were, people were coming for beer and stuff like that. Because I mean, and like I said, I don't want to talk too much about it, but I mean, because COVID is just stupid.
Yeah.
But the the government was just like so hard on breweries or tap rooms more than I felt like any other industry.
They definitely were, but in the end of the day, like nobody came out and said anything. So we could a lot of people could make their own rules. I mean, there's breweries that didn't even close. Ever.
Yeah.
And there's bars that never closed. So just tinted their windows black and it's indoors now, and things like that. And luckily, we live in a county that the county and even our city, was like, we're not dealing with this. We're not being a part of this.
Yeah.
So we were pretty fortunate being in San Bernardino County and in Rancho Cucamonga that neither one of them were really going to mess and enforce any of the rules that were being put down.
For sure.
And they pretty much made that known, and they stopped by and said, hey, you know what? If you want to stay open, you can stay open. And there were people from the city coming by and saying that, which I thought was pretty damn cool.
That's really awesome. Should we grab another beer?
Sure.
All right. I'll hit 2. We'll be back. Alrighty, and we're back. Got a couple fresh beers here. This is one of the mosaics that I got, but you know what?
That's Cali Hustle, I think, at the West Coast.
Yeah, it's the Cali Hustle, yeah. And this one's at percentage-wise?
Let's see. Let me think here. 6.8.
Okay.
7%, roughly 7.
Sweet. Jump on in. Well, which one are you drinking?
Mango Blonde. I seem to drink it a lot, just because it still tastes like beer, and it has a little bit of a back kick of the mango in the back. It's very similar, like Mango Cart, just a lot better.
Is there cashmere in this one?
There is not.
There's not? Okay.
No, there's tons of old school hops though.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait, in Cali Hustle?
Yeah. I was wondering because I was getting,
it's like it has several. I know it has like a little mosaic and citra in it, but it has.
Okay.
Trying to think. I'm trying to think of the C hop right now in my head. Columbus. I want to say Centennial. I have to look. I gotta look.
That one's awesome, though.
But it has some
really
old
good.
school hops and new school hops. I think West Coast.
Yeah.
For me personally, I like them better with old school hops.
Oh yeah.
But there's really good ones. That are made by great breweries that have like Mosaic and Citra.
Yeah.
And they're really good.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the old school hop in it.
Oh, and you know what I meant to ask you earlier? Because I'll always ask any brewer, have you ever had a stuck mash?
When we first started brewing, we had a couple.
Yeah.
We had what was that? We had like a 5-barrel system.
Okay.
And we had the scoop it pitchers, like Kool-Aid pitchers.
Dang.
And we scooped out of the trash cans.
Oh shit.
So we'd have like 2 50-gallon trash cans. Is that what they are? 50 gallons.
Yeah.
And then we would scoop and mix as the water was going in. It was pretty manual. It was still home brewing. I mean, to this day, I don't feel like we've changed anything.
Yeah.
In the basic process, we're still home brewing. You just learn a lot of new stuff. You add different stuff, whatever the case may be. You mess with your pHs more and do a lot more of other stuff than you did when you were home brewing. You make the beer and how it comes out, it comes out.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the start anyway, at the beginning.
Yeah. And that's like you were saying, like how you can change little things or tweak little things. Like the one thing I love is like when you hear someone when they talk about brewing and they talk about, yeah, this is a pretty good batch, but I think I could do this little thing next time.
Every batch.
Yeah. And
every batch should be getting a little better.
Exactly. And I mean, like, you can, like, if you're willing to keep going, like, you could, say if, like, win, like, gold in the World Beer Cup, but you're like, yeah, it was really good, but I might want to try a little something different.
Right.
Because you don't want to get complacent. You want to keep changing.
You never really make it.
Yeah.
You never make it. You're always growing. You're always getting better. If you're not learning,
yeah,
it's something in your mind thinks that you know it all or something. If you're not, I think you're always learning continuously.
Yeah.
Every single batch of beer we make, I feel like I'm my worst critic. Personally, I always like, damn, we could do this or we could make it a little better. We could. And I was like, what are you talking about? That's really good. And, I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like, yesterday you loved it. And I was like, yeah, that was yesterday. Like, today I feel like we can make it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, because sometimes, like, you're like, well, I kind of, like, I think about it when it comes to, well, even, like, this show for me. Like, I think it's a really good show. And I think you can, like, you can learn some different things from listening to different people like you, like, hearing your story. But then you can also, like, I'm always like, oh, well, is there something else I can do to maybe help it get better? Or is there, like, other segments I can bring up or stuff like that?
My advice to people is always the same. No matter what industry you're in, find the baddest motherfucker in it.
Yeah.
Do what he's doing on your own, in your own mindset, in your own skill set.
100%.
But pay attention, because they got there from doing something.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I said, these are the baddest fools out there. These are the people I want to know. These are the people I want to hang with. This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah. And
God willing, it's going to happen. And it did.
I love that.
And I feel like you can do that in anything that you do. If you're going to come into opening a brewery or making beer or whatever, are you going to come in and just do it whatever? Whatever, I don't give a shit. Half-ass, I'll stay local. I don't really care about, So, no, you want to come in, you want to do the best you can. You want to be known around the United States of America, around the world, in other countries. I mean, ultimately, I don't want to be a local brewery. I want to be an international brewery.
Yeah.
I want to be known internationally.
Yeah.
And I want to be known for giving a shit about the product that I make.
100%.
And that's really, I feel like that's the ultimate goal. I mean, what else are you doing it for?
Yeah.
You want people to taste your beer and enjoy it everywhere.
Yeah, you're 100% right. I mean, for me, like, why get into something if you're just going to half-ass it? What is the point in doing something like that? But if you're going to do something, do it to the best of your ability, work your ass off, and you'll get somewhere. It may take time. It takes time for anything. Like, it was the process that you had to go through that, when starting from the Mr. Beer kit to where you are now.
Yeah.
It's not something that happens overnight.
No, it was steady growth. It was steady,
Yeah.
steady. I mean, yeah, at one point we grew a lot faster than other points, but
Yeah.
it was always steady growth. You know, and then you reach a point, and then that's where you're at, and that's where we're at. You know, but we are in the middle of, you know, doing some stuff.
Yeah.
You know, trying to put the building up for sale. Our other location.
Okay.
It has 15-barrel brew house, 5 30-barrel fermenters, a mill, auger. Everything's ready to go. It's ready to brew.
Yeah.
You know, drains, 3-compartment sink, can wash. It has everything it needs.
Yeah.
In order to be functionable. We already brewed there. We already got licensed through the city. It was already approved.
Yeah.
So we have that for sale. And what we would like to do is take that money and purchase our first location that we actually own.
Yeah.
Where we're in somewhere like, I'm really looking at downtown Claremont. I like that area a lot.
Okay.
There was a few places that came up.
A lot of foot traffic over there and that way too, off the 10. Yeah.
Yeah, my brother and I went to school over there as well.
Okay.
So trying to we grew up over there off Indian Hill. And just want to get back over to where, you know, kind of our roots as well. And
Yeah.
we really like that. I like Claremont Village a lot, that downtown area.
Oh, for sure.
It's a
yeah.
cool little spot. So looking at that. I mean, there's other stuff we're looking at as well. They're building some stuff in Redlands. There's stuff going on in Covina. You know, so talking to a couple different people. But, you know, when it's right, it's right. I'm in no rush.
Oh, for sure. I mean, and obviously, clearly, you know, you're putting out great product. I mean, and when you have like the almost like vigor like that you have, or like the, you know, the motivation to you and your brother to be able to continue to want to, you know, even though like this is a phenomenal spot, but you can, you know, own your own spot. You don't have to worry about any of the overhead or anything else. Like when it comes like leasing or anything like that, if you can have that, I mean, it's peace of mind too, because it's yours.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Yeah, and it'll happen. I have no doubt in my mind. Just you know, just like it's one thing. I'm gonna go off on a little tangent here, but like one thing I love is that, like, you know, you and I, other than maybe 3 messages, we've sent 2 or 3 or 4 messages we've sent to each other, maybe a little bit more than that, but never actually meeting one another and being able to sit here and, you know, talk about this sort of stuff. And my listeners probably hate when I say this on every show, but I love it because like you're a fucking cool ass dude, and be able to sit here and have a conversation like this, and us not really know each other, but being able to, like, it's like we're getting on, like we've known each other for a while now. And like you were saying about how, like, you know, the craft beer community, you know, becomes like that family you see 5-6 times a year, you know, that sort of stuff. That's what this has felt like, at least, you know, for me. You know,
it's funny you say that. I had this conversation with my son earlier. This is giving out skills right here. This is, people pay for what I'm going to say right here.
Yeah.
This is something you go to school to learn. And it's something that's super simple, that's really kind of common sense at the same time. That's what makes it crazy.
Yeah.
So you go hang out with the person a couple times, whatever industry you're in, whatever it is, beer, whatever it is, you start to know that person. 2, 3, 4 times of hanging out with that person, they're your friend.
Oh, for sure.
That's how it happens.
Yeah.
That's how it happens.
Yeah.
But if you sit at home, or if you don't go nowhere, you don't go to the events, or you don't put yourself in those places, how do you expect to get anywhere?
Exactly. If you don't get off your ass and do something.
You know, I say this to a lot of people, and I think I even said it to you earlier. Send a message. Just ask. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. I'm not saying hound somebody. I'm not saying bug somebody. I'm saying respectfully ask somebody. 9 out of 10, you'll be surprised. People say yes.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So it's like a lot of times it's hard for us to put ourselves out there, but as soon as you do, things happen.
I was just smelling the golden stout. Sorry, I know we were talking about that, but I was just smelling the golden stout, and that smells fucking delightful.
What'd you smell? Coffee?
Coffee on the nose, but I am getting like. Do you remember? I don't know if you're a candy person. I'm not. I used to be when I was a kid, but I used to love the cookies and cream Hershey's. And when just off the smell, like I went back to when I was like 6 years old eating one of those. So maybe like that white chocolate, like you were talking about.
Yeah.
I might end up chugging this, but cheers, brother.
Vanilla bean, white chocolate, and coffee.
Oh, yeah.
And if you look at that thing, it looks like a lager or something.
Oh, yeah. It's not like, it's got it's
A little
clear.
hue to it.
Yeah, a little hue to it, but it's still, you can still see through it, and it smells amazing. Let's jump in. Oh, yeah.
That's like a frappuccino.
It really does.
That's what a lot of people say. They're like, that's like a Starbucks frappuccino.
Dude, you knocked
And we
this
had it
one
on
out of the-
Nitro, but it
Yeah.
ran out. It tapped out, so we have it like that right now.
You knocked this one out of the fucking park, brother. That's... Holy shit. Do you guys ever can this?
Once in a while.
Okay. Well, next time you can it, just save me a 4-pack and I'll come get it.
Trip out. Yeah, we got it. It's a 4.1 on Untapped.
Yeah.
For being a
That
core
is-
beer, that's not bad.
That's
actually
fucking
a
solid.
great score. Shit.
Yeah. Like, if I was... Because, what I'd usually do is, like, I'll, when this episode does come out in a couple weeks, like we were talking about, I'll drink a couple of the beers, too, and then I'll review the ones I didn't drink on the show before. And I usually go 1 through 10. And if it's really good, it's a big fat 10.
Yeah.
That's a fucking big fat 10. Holy shit, that's good. And I love Golden South, but you don't... Not every brewery has them.
You
But
like
I mean-
peanut butter beer? Or you're not
Oh,
into peanut
yeah.
butter?
Oh, yeah.
'Cause I got a real good peanut butter beer.
Oh, yeah.
It's a milk stout with peanut butter.
Oh, okay. I saw that Vermont maple in there. I saw it was 16%. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, so
but
that was
it
aged
sounds
in.
amazing.
We made a maple syrup, and then after we took the maple syrup out,
Yeah.
we put some bourbon in there, and we aged the bourbon in the maple syrup barrel,
Oh,
and then we
shit.
took it and kegged it. So it picked up all the maple syrup.
You're like a wizard. We were talking about Lord of the Rings off the air a little bit earlier, but because I know I'm a nerd. But yeah, you're like a wizard. That's really awesome, man. And
Nerd's cool.
yeah, I did because I do always want to act because we were talking about how much you like sneakers, like you love like shoes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Could you tell us what kind of shoes you're into? Like I know you like Jordans and
Yeah, I have a lot of Jordan 1s.
okay.
I like 3s and 4s, Jordan 3s and 4s a lot. I mean, I have a couple 2s and I have a couple other, I have some 11s and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but cherries and cool grays and stuff like that. But I mean, ultimately, those are the shoes I like of the Jordans. I have a lot of the Yeezy 350s.
Okay.
I have every one that darn near ever came out.
Yeah.
Some I have 2 pairs of, some I wear and some I save.
Awesome.
But I'm really into customs, or like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you'd call them customs anymore, or but I guess more like smaller brands.
Okay.
I have like 8 pair of Cool Kais. Probably never even heard of Cool Kai.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, so he kind of like does the Jordan 1 with a bolt on the side.
Oh, okay.
And he has it. They're pretty much a similar shoe.
Yeah.
Not exactly the same quality, but pretty darn good.
Yeah.
I like those a lot. I like, getting people to like customize shoes.
That's cool.
I really want to try to learn to do it myself, honestly.
That'd be cool. I mean, that's another thing you could tackle.
Yeah, so I've been watching some stuff, videos and stuff. We actually have a guy that comes here to the brewery that makes shoes.
Oh, dang.
And he said he would show me, so
That's
thinking
awesome.
about it.
That's really cool. I mean, yeah, you never know. I mean, I think the fanciest shoe I ever had, because I was such like, I was telling you earlier, like I love like Vans, like slip-ons and stuff like that. But I had was like the T-Mac, the T-Mac ones. They were white and blue, and they had like the little like thing that came up. There was like the stripes, or the Adidas SL ones, I think they were called. But I've always loved Jordans because I grew up. I was a Bulls fan.
Yeah.
Because my
Yeah,
dad.
me too.
Yeah. So that's what
I
makes
was
you.
just because of Jordan.
Oh,
but then
for sure.
when I was young, I was actually into sports.
Yeah.
I collected cards. I still have all those cards.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was I mean, I could tell you when people were coming from college, going into the NBA.
Yeah.
I remember like there was like UNLV draft year. I remember that was a huge one with Larry Johnson and Stacey Ogman, and like I remember a lot of stuff. But once I got into working and stuff like that, sports. I didn't have the time for it.
I mean, there's certain time in your life where things, take precedence. So I mean,
I was a kid then, so I was 12 years old. I had time to collect baseball cards and watch TV all day.
Oh, for sure. Like that was me. It was cartoons. It was baseball cards. It was
I collected every sport.
Oh yeah.
I have a bunch of them, but I don't think any of them are worth anything. Yeah. And I don't think I kept them in good enough condition either. I didn't really take care of them. I threw them in a binder and like.
I was the same way. I had my Chipper Jones rookie card. I had a Greg Maddux rookie card because I was, I told you I'm a Braves fan. So, and I'm sure the listeners are probably sick and tired of hearing me say I'm a Braves fan. But, oh well, you're gonna have to deal with it. Just kidding, guys. I mean, I love like all of that, like the collecting. Like I'm still into comics. Like but I don't buy comics anymore unless it's like a special kind of issue coming out.
Yeah.
Because it got to the point where I was like, man, I have no room. I can't do it anymore. I would go to Frank and Sons over in Industry. Yeah. So I would go there every Wednesday, new comic book day. But then I was like, I had just box after box. I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
I remember going to Frank and Sons, but they were definitely not in Industry when I went.
Yeah, well, they moved it. It was in I remember Walnut / like almost Covina. And then they moved maybe 4 or 5 years ago to where to shout out to Frank and Sons. In Industry, there was like what's the one where they cook in front of you?
The hibachi grill.
There you go. Yeah, one of those. One of the famous
Benihana's
ones.
or something.
Benihana. But so there used to be a Sam's Club or Costco right next to it, and now they're in there. That place went out of business, and so they took over that whole spot. So my nerd swap meet is even bigger now. This has been so fun. I do want to. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, because they even do they do a ton of card stuff, and they'll grade. They grade and all that sort of stuff too.
I'll be like, I gotta pay somebody to go through all my cards. You got time?
Find me a good one.
Be like, here, let's charge you by an hour. Let's go through every card.
Oh, for sure. Before we do finish up, because this has been so fun, I did want to ask, because being in Rancho, and I also want you to plug your sneaker spot you have next door. So if you could tell us about that, and then some of your favorite places to go in Rancho. It could be your favorite burger. I know we talked about earlier how In-N-Out's In-N-Out or Five Guys is kind of king in California. But if there's another burger spot or just another local brewery that you like to frequent, or or even your the food truck you guys have out here today, stuff like that, anything you want to promote, and any places you like to go in this area if somebody was going to come out to Kings, and then I want to try to hit this place or hit that place.
Well, let's see. Some of the things we got going on with food and stuff like that is we actually have a couple vendors that have been with us for a couple years.
Okay.
And they're here Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Okay.
So every Wednesday we do asadero chicali. They come out from LA.
Nice.
And they do guisados, which is they make handmade tortillas.
Oh,
and they
nice.
have about 12 different items you can choose from. Everything from carne asada to potatoes and green chili to potatoes and chorizo.
Oh,
to
good.
Chicharron. And then if you want it, it's called chicali style.
Okay.
They'll put beans and guacamole on top.
Oh, damn.
They're here every Wednesday. Thursday we do pupusas with las toras. The ladies come out and they kill it. They make them right in front of you, whatever you order. And they have all the traditional ones.
That's awesome.
Friday we do smash burgers every Friday with the Burger Game.
Yeah.
They're here
Let
every week.
me a smash burger. We were talking about burgers earlier.
So, those are our food vendors, and then Saturday we kind of rotate through vendors, and Sunday we do tacos dorados.
Okay. The potato tacos?
They're the hard shell tacos.
Yeah.
So
they
have different
the
things.
Potatoes in it.
Different things.
Yeah.
Potatoes one of them.
Okay.
So they do the hard shell tacos. They're amazing.
Oh yeah.
And they come on Sundays. So just Saturday rotates, and all the rest of the days we have permanent vendors now.
Okay.
We're doing a pinball tournament. We bought a new pinball machine in.
Nice. Oh yeah, I saw the pinball machine that was
just
in
got
there.
it. We're getting Next week we're getting a dartboard.
Nice.
So what we did is like you come in, you get a high score on the pinball, and you win a $50 gift certificate. That's our first month. We're just checking it out, see how it goes.
Nice.
So far we have people, and all they do is walk up to the bar and tell their high score. We write down their name, phone number, and their high score, and that's it.
Okay.
So it's pretty simple. We're doing like once a month putting league, disc golf putting league.
Nice.
We have that once a month with the local Innova Disc Golf. They're the biggest disc golf company in the world. They sell the equipment and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so they come down and bring all the equipment, and we sit in the parking lot and do that. We did that last week. We'll do it again at the end of this month. Those are some things we got going on here. And then you can also, what's really cool is you can grab a beer.
Yeah.
You can walk through the patio, and you can walk in the store next door right here, Reunion, and you can go shopping. You can go in there with your beer, and you can grab some shoes,
Exactly.
a shirt, a coat, whatever you're feeling like. So we have that going on next door, and we carry a lot of good brands in there. Fear of God, from Fear of God to vintage clothing to Jordans to Yeezys to a lot of good name brands in there.
Sure.
Supreme. There's some Travis Scott stuff in there. Babe, I mean, a lot of different good brands are in there.
Yeah, you gave me the private tour, and I got to see all the shoes in there. They're awesome.
So that's a pretty cool addition, to be able to go next door and check out the spot. Open 5 days a week, closed on Sundays and Mondays.
Okay.
That's a lot of what's going on. Oh, you talked about a burger.
Yeah.
So I like to go to Five Guys and get my special burger.
There you go.
Just go in and be like, I'll take just a plain burger with pickles, mustard, and ketchup.
Okay.
And can you smash it?
Yeah.
And that's just about it. And then you get your nice little smash burger from Five Guys.
Nice.
They don't even know they make them.
Yeah.
And they make them for me. They're like, can I get a smash burger? Like, we don't make those. All right, never mind. How about this? Can I just get a plain burger with mustard, ketchup, right? Can you smash it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's the smash burger.
Are you more In-N-Out or more Five Guys?
Oh, In-N-Out. Oh,
Yeah, same.
for sure. But the cool thing about In-N-Out is they got milk.
Yeah.
People think that's crazy to eat milk with a burger, but it's there for a reason.
Oh, dude, people give me shit. So I'll tell you what my order is. I get a 4x4 combo plain, so just meat and cheese.
Yeah.
I get a chocolate vanilla shake and cheese fries. I dunk my burger in my shake.
Yeah.
But people see me when I'm eating in the actual restaurant. They're like, "What the fuck?" But it's actually really good because it's like you get that sweet and savory. So for listeners, if you actually like the sweet and savory, definitely try that.
There's a little hack I got too. Tried it last night.
What is it?
So Wendy's, you order a large chili,
Okay.
2 burgers and some fries.
Uh-oh.
You got 2 chili cheeseburgers and some chili cheese fries.
I'm a chili cheeseburger aficionado.
Dude, you can literally,
So-
after you make your chili cheese fries real quick, you get your fries, you dump them in a bowl,
Yeah.
put some chili on it, there's your
Okay.
chili cheese fries,
Yeah.
then you have the rest of your chili. You basically just dunk your burger in the whole time and eat it in the chili.
That's awesome.
Man,
What more do you need?
it's so good. I think I'm going to eat it again today.
There you go. And people some people don't like Wendy's as much, but their spicy nuggets are bomb. They're double, even their Dave's Double or their double stack, and this isn't a plug on Wendy's.
No, because I'm a creature of habit. I only eat one thing from there, and it's what I said.
Yeah. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll get the double stack meal, and it's you get a little double cheeseburger, French fries, spicy nuggets, and a Frosty, and then I'll order an extra 6-piece spicy
Man,
nuggets.
I did get a Frosty, though. I did accidentally
Frosties
get
are
a
fire.
Frosty, yeah. Put it in the freezer for a little while, because that thing came hot as fuck.
Yeah. Before we do finish up, I'm gonna chug this one. I'm gonna enjoy this one.
Porter.
Yeah, and
Janice
what's
Porter.
this one called?
Janice.
Janice,
It's
okay.
named after my mother-in-law that passed away.
And this is the one R.I.P. And condolences to the family. This one is 5%?
That one's 6.
6%?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's jump in. Cheers one more time before we finish up the show, because this has been a blast. And maybe we'll get some bonus content at the end. We'll talk to, because I would love to. What I'll do is, what we'll do later is I'll take the mini mics, because it should be okay as long as they're not next to the thing, and we'll talk to you. We can talk to your wife. We can interview because I always like to have them ask the employees how long have you been here? What's your favorite beer here? Something like that. Cheers, brother. Cheers. You don't know how to make a bad one. That's freaking delicious, man.
Nice.
That is really, really good. I mean, and
that was one of my home brews.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that was one of my home brews. So was the first beer I came out with. It just evolved over the years. That one pretty much stayed the same from homebrew.
Yeah.
Didn't change too much. Like some of the cores, like something like that, and the King Diaz, the other one you drank with the Golden Stout, and those don't change. Yeah. Our OG cores from homebrewing, those recipes don't change. They've been the same since I homebrewed. Yeah. It's the West Coast and the hazies and stuff like that I always try something new when I get the opportunity, or someone puts something in my ear or teaches me something. I want to try it. So, like if I'm gonna brew with someone, they say, "Hey, this is the recipe I use when I make the hazy." Yeah. And they're a good brewery and they know what they're doing. I fucking try it. Yeah. I try their recipe and I send them mine, and they can fucking try mine if they want to too. Oh yeah. And it's not really how people would think, like, oh, like we don't share that type of information, because when we're tight with people and we're doing the same things together, 100% we share that information. And I try it, and I may not like it, and I usually go back to what I do. But I always try it. Yeah. You know?
Well, even if you try and be like, you know what, it's good, but maybe I'll do this little thing to it.
Yeah, or a lot of times you take a piece of it that you like from it, and you add it to what 100%. You're doing. And you do that through the years with a lot of people, and that's what molds and changes your style and your beer into what it ends up being in the end.
100%. And I'm just going to say this, if you were friends way back when you were homebrewing this, I wouldn't have never left your house.
Man, I had 8 kegs on tap in my garage.
Holy shit.
I made a refrigerator, and I turned it into...
a kegerator?
Yeah, and we had corny kegs, little homebrew kegs, the 5-gallon. Oh, yeah. And they all were tapped. We had all kinds of beer on at home. Like,
I love it.
And it's like, oh, it's time now to open. Because we were going to open the brewery, so I was like honing in recipes. So I was brewing and brewing and brewing and brewing. I was brewing like 7 days a week.
Damn.
And working at the brewery every day.
Damn.
Like putting it together, you know. Yeah. Because we did a lot of the work ourselves, you know, putting up FRP, whatever the case may be. Whatever we had to do, we were doing it ourselves.
That's awesome, man. This has been so fun. I'm going to save this hazy because I'm going to drink it off air. Yeah. But, I mean, I can only imagine how good it is. And I'm probably going to have to snag maybe a couple beers from it so I can, for when I release the episode, I can, review those. But this has been an absolute pleasure for me. Thank you so much for being willing to do it.
For sure.
And I feel like I made a new friend now.
You did.
Yeah, so, I mean, we can, we can talk beer. We can, just get shit faced together. Who knows? Either way.
A lot of people for some reason think that I'm a mean guy or something like that, and it's like the same thing I said to you earlier. Yeah. People just got to say what's up. Come on, if they want to come and do a podcast, they want to have a conversation, they want to hang out, they want to do whatever. Just hit me up. It's super simple. I'm a really nice guy, I promise.
Good, definitely.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I got a business run and things like that, and I can be strict at times, and I have rules and all of that. I mean, that's part of life. Yeah. But at the end of the day, like, I'd like to chill and hang out too and have a conversation.
Oh, for sure. I mean, and honestly, man, whenever you want to do it again, like if you have like any type of like maybe towards the end of summer or like early fall, if you have like a special release coming out, let's do something.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah, we'll come down.
I mean, I can let you know next time we have different things going on, lots of events all the time. Yeah. We're doing a big Netflix release coming up here on the end of the month. We're going to put a big screen TV out in the parking lot.
That's cool. And what date is that? Because I'll make sure the episode's out before then.
I have to look. It's like it's Memorial Day weekend, the Friday.
27th?
Something like 6th or 7th or 8th. Something in there. Okay. Somewhere like, I can't remember.
All right.
5th or 6th, or I have it posted on on the website and stuff.
For sure.
And yeah, so a local guy here that comes and does our barbecue pops up sometimes, and he's part of a local bunch of barbecue guys that hang and stuff that we know as well, and we sponsor and take beer and stuff like that. They're gonna do the show here when it comes out on that Friday. We're going to show it here on a big screen.
That's awesome.
And they're going to be out here cooking and stuff like that as well
Cool.
while the show's on. So it's going to be pretty cool.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I'm always down for.
So
anything.
I mean, like, you know, things like that. I mean, I could bring you out for different things, and I'm sure people will sit down with you.
Oh, for sure, man.
And a lot of these guys would probably enjoy that shit. Really enjoy doing it. You know?
Oh yeah,
So,
I mean, and that's the thing, like, you know, because it doesn't just like, yeah, that's why one of the reasons I started like even like, well, doing this part of it, whether it's like owners, brewers, stuff like that. But then I also do the part where it's like just like people that love beer, or like, and if you're like, you know, people from Philly, like, where do I go? Like, if I'm in Philly, where do I go? I don't want to go to the touristy places. I don't want to go to the Pat's or Geno's. Like, nothing against them, but I mean, like, I want to be able to, like, where's the real place to get a cheesesteak?
yeah, we actually have an
Stuff
employee
like
here
that.
from Philly, and we're actually going there
awesome.
next in 2 weeks.
Okay.
My wife and I, and he told us, you better go here for it. Don't
Yeah.
go here. So
Yeah.
we're gonna try one out and see, because
Awesome.
I've never really been so much of a fan. Like, they're cool. I'll eat one here and there.
Yeah.
But like, they're not really my thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, let's see. Let's
Yeah.
see if you get it from the right place, if it's a lot better.
For
Because I'm
sure.
telling you, dog, New York getting
Yeah.
pizza is way fucking better.
Oh yeah.
There's a couple places I go down there, and that shit's so crunchy on the bottom that'll break. It's so
Crack your
good,
teeth.
man. It's like just right, that crunch.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's how I like
I
it.
love thin crust too.
Yeah, that's
So
how I
I'm right
like
there
it.
with
That
you.
New York pizza, and it's Stacy's, is that the place? Oh
Yeah.
man, I'm gonna butcher it, but it's so
it's all
fucking
good.
good. I can't think of it. I've only been there a couple times, but
Yeah.
the pizza was so different
Yeah.
that I went like 3 days in a row when I was there.
Wow. That sounds like something I would do.
And there's fucking 30 people in line every time.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
That's that good stuff.
Every time I think of New York pizza, I think, because we were talking earlier, Ninja Turtles. So, 'cause, you know,
Oh,
I'm such a super nerd, so. But honestly, man, I really appreciate it, Jeremiah. Like, this has been so fun for me, and I hope it's fun for the listeners, that they can listen to this and maybe listen to Jeremiah's story and think of, hey, if he can do it, I can do it. Because all it takes is some fucking hard work and the drive and determination to be able to do it. So,
if you can scrape up fucking $150,000,
yeah.
you can open a brewery really small,
Yeah.
real small, and grow.
Yeah. There's
I
always
mean,
room
you
for
can't
growth.
put yourself in the middle of Hollywood doing that. but
Yeah.
You gotta pick the spot and grow from there.
You find your way.
Yep.
I love it, man. Well, thank you again. Appreciate
Absolutely.
it. Absolutely. We'll do something again. Don't forget to follow. It's at King's Brewing Co. Right on Instagram. At King's Brewing Co. And come on down to the brewery. If you're in the SoCal area, if you're in Claremont, Covina, Upland, Rancho, anywhere near here, anywhere near Rancho, come on down to the brewery. There's so many beers on tap, and they are. I've had 4 today. I'm gonna have a 5th. They're all delicious. So please come down. There's food vendors all the time. Just support the business and be able to do all that. To just be able to come down and have a good time. There's dogs. There's families. There's people here with their significant others. You can just come down and have a good time. Have some good food from the vendors. And Jeremiah's awesome. The whole staff's awesome. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Thank you again, brother.
Absolutely. You guys have a good one. Later. Thanks, brother.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that interview. Obviously, I had a great time with Jeremiah. We had, such a nice guy. Super thankful for, him allowing me to come down there and be able to do that sort of thing. Before we do finish, though, like I said, have this stuff coming up. Next week episode is going to be Oso Brewing. Week after that is going to be the Helia episode. I'm super fun. I'm really happy that I'm going to come down and get to go down to Carlsbad, which is becoming one of my new favorite places. Get to come down with them, record, have a few beers, talk to their home brewer, hear their story about how they started. So, all right, well, let's finish the episode like we always do. Article 42 of the Bro Code. Upon greeting another bro, a bro may engage in a high five, a fist bump, a bro hug, but never a full embrace. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Take care, Tap Fam.